I'm back here with another New Scott interview, back once again with Dynamite Dylan Davis. How you doing?
How's it going, New Scott?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. Good.
This is becoming a yearly tradition for us. Last year around this time, it might have been actually a year ago today, you were getting ready for a big last man standing match against Tony King. How did that go?
Honestly, it didn't go as I planned. As some of you may not know, I had Tony King right where I wanted him, and because of Matt Wheeler interfering, I was unfortunately the last guy to not be standing, leaving Tony King the new and current champion.
Since then, 2017 was a big year for you in the Maritimes. You moved over here from Newfoundland in 2016?
Yeah,
is that correct?
It was August 2016.
August 2016. Wrestled a couple of times, but 2017 was a pretty big year for you. You worked a lot in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, back in PEI, and not in the Maritimes. You broke into the Quebec and Ontario scene?
Yeah, we did the Ontario a few months ago, actually, yeah.
What are your thoughts on how you progressed in 2017?
Oh, it's like night and day. It's big difference. It's now almost every weekend I'm on the road, following Marcus Burke pretty much wherever he goes. Luckily, I have that opportunity. So yeah, compared to last year, man, I'm busy and I love it. It's awesome.
One of the promotions you don't work for is Innovative Hybrid Wrestling in New Brunswick. Yeah. New Brunswick's biggest promotion. Why is that?
I have no idea. I think it has to do with like my schedule and their schedule. I've been asked numerous times, but most times I'm either in Newfoundland or I'm in Quebec. So just most times it has to do with my schedule being just too busy for Kevin Tyler and ISW. So who knows? Maybe in the new year, Kevin might turn the page and buy a shirt and book me. But it's a hope. It's just see how it goes.
UCW last April drew over 1,200 people at the Halifax Civic Centre in Halifax, Nova Scotia. What are your thoughts on that? And was that the biggest show you've done till that point?
One of the biggest for sure. But like that crowd felt amazing. Like it was walking out to the curtain to see that many people at a show was just overwhelming. I know probably my biggest show to date would probably have been in Newfoundland in I think 2015 or 14. It was
so Jake Roberts?
Yeah, it was Jake Roberts and Ted DiBiase as LCW's anniversary show. They had like 1,500.
Nice.
So that was probably my biggest show to date for sure.
Nice. What are your thoughts on how UCW has progressed throughout the year? About a year ago this time, they had a show with a Ring of Honor guy on it, Silas Young, that drew half the crowd of a show they had a couple weeks ago with no names on it. So what are your thoughts on how they've come this year? How far they've come this year?
I believe that the proof is in the pudding, and everything was out in the wash. The whole company has been putting in so much work over last year to become, I believe, one of the top wrestling promotions in the Maritimes. I feel like 2018 is going to be the year where the company really lifts off and gets to new heights, new levels. What do I think is going to happen? Bigger houses, big crowds, and the best matches the Americans will ever see.
What are your thoughts on finally getting back over to PEI with Mike Hughes' Red Rock Wrestling?
Awesome. I think it's been 2 years since I worked for Mike. It's been probably longer since I worked for Red Rock Wrestling.
It's 2012.
Yeah, so
2011 or 12? Somewhere
5 or 6 years. So it's been a while. Last week doing his show at Highland College was amazing.
That setup looked fantastic.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
Hats off to the crew, man, because that show looked amazing from top to bottom. It felt great to be back, to see all the boys in the back again. I'm looking forward to like next year really get my foot back in the door and really prove to the fans and PEI that I'm probably the next top star in the maritime scene today.
Your thoughts on the New Breed Wrestling shows that took place in 2017?
I haven't worked for New Breed since my first time over to the Maritimes in 2011. Pretty much roughly this same crew, but the crew just got better. The quality of the shows are so much better. The work's so much better. And yeah, I just feel like it's a big improvement from when I seen back in 2011 to what it is now.
Now on to the upcoming New Evolution Wrestling show coming up at the end of this month. It's been a year since you've been champion. Talk about how much that title meant to you.
Yeah, that title was everything that I worked for in Newfoundland since I started. It was everything I fought for. It was everything I worked for. You know, the injuries, setbacks here and there, the personal stuff, like everything that happened to me, I fought through to get that belt. The moment that ref counted 10 was probably the hardest moment in my life, in my career to date. I felt like I let the fans of Newfoundland down, my friends down, my family down. Everything I worked for were just taken away from me like that. So for me to lose that, I lost my sense of motivation and direction, and I had no idea where to go from there to get back what meant so much to me.
The match coming up is a triple threat match for that title. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen in that match?
I refuse to come back to the Maritimes empty-handed. I'm not a desperate man, but I've got nothing to lose. It's no secret me and Tony King aren't friends. But me and Scott, we go back, way back. Me and him were considered best friends. Scott, make no mistake about it. Whatever happens in this match, it's not personal. It's strictly business. If I gotta run through Scott to win back my championship, then so be it. It is what it is. Right?
Scott is a rising star in NEW since regaining control of his life and is a tough competitor. What are your thoughts on everything he's gone through to get back to where he is right now in life?
I'm proud of Scotty. Like, to go from where he was 2 years ago to the guy he is today, it's, like I said earlier, it's night and day for Scott. His life is cleaned up now, you know, so much, and, you know, he's so focused now on his match that, as happy as I am to see him come back, I'm going to have to put his happy story, I'm going to have to cut his happy story short. So, yeah, Scotty, good on you for doing what you're doing now, but unfortunately, when that bell rings, strictly business, brother. Strictly business.
Your star is also on the rise in NEW. How are you going to deal with the underhanded tactics from Tony and Scott's refusal to stay down to prove that you will be the new uncrowned champion in New Evolution Wrestling?
Tony King can use as many tricks as he wants. The fact of the matter is, I've spent the last year of my career going toe-to-toe with the very best. Marco Estrada, Marcus Burke. You know, I've held my own against these guys. These guys are the top guys in Canada today. Make no mistake about it. I'm walking in there, the uncrowned king of Newfoundland wrestling, but I'm walking out with my crown held in my hand. There's not a damn thing Tony King or Scott Humphreys can do about it.
When and where is the show?
The show is in my hometown of St. John's, Newfoundland, at the historic CLB Armory on Harvey Road. Yeah, man, it's my home base. It's where I started, where I grew up, so to speak.
And the date?
It's December 29th 2017.
Do you have any closing comments for any friends, family, or fans that might be watching this?
Just come out December 29th, support your homegrown hero, Dynamite Dylan Davis, on his quest to become your new king of Newfoundland wrestling.
And any closing comments for your two opponents on that night?
Tony King, get ready to be humbled. And Scott Humphreys, get ready for the fight of your life. So I'm coming in swinging, brother.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, man.